In this video, we are going to go over how you can prepare for job interviews when you have no experience. Are you preparing for your first ever job interview? If so, let me know in the comments below what you're most excited or nervous about for your upcoming interview. Hi, my name is Laurie and I'm a career coach who has been on both sides of the hiring process many times. I'm the founder of Post-College Journey, and this channel is all about job hunting tips that will help you launch your career after college. Let's dive right in. When it comes to preparing for job interviews, I like to think of it in two categories. The first category is about answering interview questions, and the second category is more about logistics. We'll go over both, but let's start with the elephant in the room, answering interview questions. Whether you are preparing for your first ever job interview or brushing up on interviewing skills, it can be anxiety-inducing to think about how you'll answer questions when you feel like you have no experience. The first step to preparing for job interviews when you feel like you have no experience is to redefine what experience means. That sounds ridiculous, but hear me out. By this point, you have enough experience to add to your resume and enough quality experience on that resume for a hiring manager to be interested in you. So even if you don't have professional experience in the field you are hoping to get into, you do have experience. You have life experience. And now you need to account for that and map these experiences back to the job you are applying for. The second step to preparing for interviews is to reflect on all of your experience so you can find the situations you might want to highlight in an interview. To do this, read the job description and think about class projects, homework assignments, club involvement, service industry jobs, or internships that prove that you have the experience that's on the job description. If you are worried about whether these actually count as experience, just remember that the hiring manager has already looked at your resume, and so if you use these life experiences as examples, it won't come as a surprise for them. You just have to be able to explain how your life experience is relevant to the job you are applying for. For example, this job description says, collaborate with internal and external partners to execute marketing activities, including advertising, social media channels, website, and coupon programs. If I were applying for this role, I'd think about how when I was in college, I was in charge of advertising an annual festival of a student club I was a part of. I had to come up with marketing strategies, coordinate with other club officers as well as campus partners. I had to create marketing materials and delegate tasks to other club members. That year we sold out of tickets. Kind of like a card game, it might be easier to understand what I'm talking about when you've put it into practice. So the third step is to look up common interview questions and practice answering them using your redefined definition of experience. As you practice answering interview questions, be sure to practice answering them with the STAR formula. The STAR formula stands for situation, task, answer, and result. And the purpose of this formula is to give you a template to follow so you can answer the question in a concise manner and in a way that allows interviewers to easily follow your answer. For example, a common behavioral interview question is, describe the time when you had to step up and demonstrate leadership skills. I might say something like, as the public relations officer of a student organization, I was in charge of advertising the annual festival. I had to come up with marketing strategies, coordinate with other club officers as well as campus partners, create marketing materials, and delegate tasks to other club members. That year we sold out of tickets. Now you know that you have enough experience to be able to answer interview questions. You also have a formula for how to answer these interview questions. But before we start talking about the logistics of preparing for job interviews, we'll go over a few more important interview prep steps. And if you are finding this video helpful so far, please hit the like button below. The STAR method that I mentioned earlier allows you to answer behavioral questions. A common interview question is, tell me about yourself. Unfortunately, the STAR method won't help you answer this question. So I created this YouTube video that explains how you can answer that oh so lovely interview question. Now that we've gone over answering interview questions, let's go over 2 things you'll want to research. The first thing you'll want to research is the company. Regardless of the type of job you are interviewing for, I recommend looking up the company's mission, values, and leadership. You'll also want to look for any recent news articles written for and by the company. Finally, I recommend researching anything that relates to the role that you are applying for. For example, if you are applying for a social media marketing role, it's a good idea to look at their social media and do a quick SWOT analysis. The second thing I recommend researching is on who will be interviewing you. Ask for the name or names of people who will be interviewing you so you can look at their LinkedIn profile. I mainly do this to look for common ground talking points. Now you know the 2 main things you need to research, which is the company and interviewers, so let's talk logistics. I wanted to talk about this because it's easy to get so focused on interview questions and answering them that you can overlook obvious things. Whether you are going to have an in-person interview or a virtual interview, I recommend planning out your outfit so you don't have to worry about it the day of. Plus, I've noticed that when I pick out an outfit the day before, I don't overthink it. Whereas when I wait to pick out my outfit the morning of, I end up trying out like 3 outfits and it's just not a good use of my time. It's also a good idea for you to gather your materials ahead of time. This might include your resume, your cover letter, your portfolio, maybe a copy of the job posting. If you are going to have a virtual interview, plan out where you'll be having your interview. Find a place that will have minimal distractions, good lighting, and good sound. If for some reason you don't have access to a place like this, that's okay. Just be sure to let the interviewer know as soon as possible so they know what to expect. If you are going to an in-person interview, calculate how long it will take to get there and add buffer time just in case you get lost or the traffic is heavier than expected. I would recommend doing this around the same time you'd be going in for the interview. So if it's Monday and your interview is on Friday at noon, then on Tuesday or Wednesday at noon, check the traffic. Lastly, but most importantly, prepare mentally. Whether you are going into an office for an interview or interviewing virtually, give yourself at least 5 minutes to just sit and gather yourself. With that, I want to wish you luck on your interview. You're gonna do great. But before you head to the next video, please hit the like and subscribe buttons below and tap on that notification bell so that you don't miss out on career tips. And if you found this video helpful, please share it with a friend who you think will also find it helpful. All right, I will see you in the next video.